Today we're watching the interview of folks from the Sherry Group who are joining us for the business affiliate interview with the United Methodist Camp and Retreat Ministries Association. This is a time to help our camp and retreat leaders better understand the Sherry Group, get to hear what you all are seeing, and to learn how to walk alongside our camp leaders in this season. Welcome, everybody. Dave, your team, I'm really excited that you are here today. I would love for you to take a few minutes to introduce yourselves, tell us about you, who you are, and perhaps what led you to this work, or so that our group can get to know you a little better.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jessica. We're excited to be here and share a little bit about what we do and why we do it. So we really appreciate the opportunity. I'm Dave Sherry. I am sort of the CAE, maybe Chief Amongst Equals for our group, and I don't really I don't really think that we operate so much in a regular pattern of leadership, so much more so as a team, I think. But uh, my background, I started camping in 1992 and have been in the camping industry ever since. And I moved over from doing nonprofit work largely with YMCA's into doing this work in 2019. And so going on, it'll be 7 years this June that the Sherry Group has been in play. And we really started this because we wanted to continue to try to expand our ministry, wanted to have an impact and try to help other ministries, other camping ministries be successful. We think there's a real special place in camping ministry or for camping ministry. We want to be sure to do our part to help if we can. I've loved working in camps. I've loved the relationships and the experiences that not only I've had, but I've seen my family have, and most importantly, all the campers and staff have had. And just want to continue that, right? And find ways that we can help others continue that. And um, probably the part that I've enjoyed most about this is just the relationships and seeing camps and learning all the different ministries and the way people go about things. And we're really we're here to serve and share and help grow ministry. Um, but there's quite a few of us, so we need to move through this pretty quick, I think. But I'd like to introduce Bob. Bob has been on our team for, well, since January, I think. And Bob, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, I'm Bob Cayley. I have been blessed to be able to be in the camping ministry for about 40 years. The first 35 of them have been with the YMCA. I've worked in camps all across the country, different sizes from small to large. The last 5 years, I've worked with the United Methodist Camps and Retreat Ministries, the first couple in South Carolina, and the last three here in the Great Plains. I'm currently in Topeka, Kansas. Wife and two wonderful children. And they're not children anymore. They're still my kids, but they're definitely grown adults. So, and my oldest just became a program director for a for a camp. So it's pretty exciting that that's continuing. Glenn, what's going on with you?
I am thrilled to be here this morning, and I am Glenn Svetnica. I am half of Team Svetnica. We are senior consultants with TSG. I always tell people my career kind of breaks into thirds and sets up itself. The first third was in the for-profit sector with the Target Corporation, where I learned how to do operations and HR and all those fun things that they teach you. From there, I served 20 some odd years, my goodness, in UCC camps as an executive director. I started as a child, of course. That's how I got 20 years of experience. But no, Northern Wisconsin, Missouri, we've done that. And now this third half is just a synthesis of all the fun that I've been able to do. I get to work with super cool human beings. And as one half of Team Svetnica, my life partner is my business partner as well. So I'll turn it over to her.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Svatnica. I've been in outdoor ministry for about 16 years. I've always loved mission-focused work, and camp ministry in particular just has such a way of deeply impacting people's lives. So with a background in marketing and development, I've realized over time that I really enjoy helping organizations think strategically and problem solve and build healthier and sustainable systems to support all the good work that they're doing in the world. Sandy?
Good morning. I'm Sandy Peasley. I'm very new to the Sherry Group, just a few months on board. I have a background as a Braille interpreter and also a teacher, and finished up working that just over a year ago now. And I've come on board just to be help support kind of behind the scenes, a writer, and anything else I can do to help support the team. Tom, you're up next.
Thank you. Yes, it's great to be with all of you today. My name is Tom Neppel. I'm a landscape architect based in Ames, Iowa, just down the road from Dave and the intergalactic headquarters of the Sherry Group in Boone, Iowa. And I've had a career since the late 90s in the camp field as a landscape architect and planner. And, you know, I think my aim in all of this work is to connect people, children, youth, and adults with the outdoors. And what a great way to do that. Camp is a great environment for that connection with the outdoors. And I've been working with the Sherry Group for about as long as Dave has been in business with it. Dave and Glenn are actually former clients of mine. When they were in a previous life in their roles at camps, I had a chance to consult with each of them, help them out at their camps. And I'm really excited to continue to be able to do that with the Sherry Group.
Awesome. What an incredible team. Dave, I want to ask you, before we start talking about some of the specific priorities of the Sherry Group, I'm wondering, could you give us that elevator pitch, that snapshot of who the Sherry Group is? What do you exist to do, and who do you best serve?
I think you could say that we exist to partner. We really want to find a place where we can partner with camps. We believe that camp and retreat ministry is such an important missional project, and we want to align with partners. We want to come alongside and really get to know you, get to know your ministry, get to know your people, all the stakeholders. And we want to be able to help you find ways to make your camp run efficiently, to have your ministry be strong and to reach as many people as possible. And we've got several tools to do that, from operational consulting to strategic planning to site planning and master planning, budget work, board development, and capital campaign work. But we really believe that we are partners. We really look to find people that we can connect with over long term, right? We want to be less transactional and more relational. And we want to be able to have honest conversations with folks that will lead to thoughtful and productive decision making.
As consultants, you all have shared with us the vast amount of experience and perspectives that you all bring. And for years, you've been working closely with camps. So I'd love to hear from you all. In your work, what trends are you seeing in camp and retreat ministry organizations right now? What are some of the biggest challenges that your clients are facing today that you've been walking alongside them and being in partnership with them around?
Yeah, I think that's where you want me to jump in and kind of talk a little bit of where we're seeing the priorities. And what we're seeing is a redoubling on the clarity of mission. And we're finding that matters most of all. We need to see our clients, or help our clients define their purpose, mission, and then the vision for delivering on that. Organizations that are thriving can clearly articulate it and what their impact is. They can tell their why really well, not just what they do. And they're telling the story of how their lives are changed. We're also seeing the participation is changing. It is in some cases declining, but the demand is still out there. You've got to get out there and communicate this purpose, mission, and vision, because when you do, the demand is still there. It's just moving to different events and figuring out what those different events look like. It's not just the summer staff model anymore. Hello, mother, hello, father is out the window. People want comfort. They want to make sure that they're safe. They want to make sure that they are taken care of, and in some cases, even entertained. But we have to make sure that we help our clients figure through, in this quest for year-round business. Sometimes that's not the right decision. Sometimes you've got to double down on your experiences in your summer and have a robust program. So I think camps are having to think on how they can do that with inside of their specific purpose, mission, and vision. Certainly revenue streams are key. As nonprofits, we typically live every essence of that word or that definition. Nothing says we can't turn a profit and put some things into reserves so that we can weather the rainy days and keep our deferred maintenance going. Which kind of slips over to the challenge side of things. There's some things that are standing out, I think. Financial pressure, we have aging facilities, sometimes some deferred maintenance. Costs are rising. I don't know if anybody's been to the gas station lately. There's some limited capital that people are working with. We need to help people maximize those opportunities. And we've got to connect this purpose, mission, and vision with people that might want to help ease the financial pressures. We also have to make sure leadership alignment is happening. I have the privilege of teaching with Compass Points, and we talked about succession planning in our last class. The day you take a job, you need to start planning for succession planning because all of us are at some point going to leave our positions. You need to do that with your boards and make sure your staff and even your stakeholders, you've got a succession plan, the people that are supporting you with their resources and moving everybody in that same direction. I would also say that access and relevance is critical. It used to be pretty easy that people would go to church and then send their kids to camp. Those days are done. I think we need to help people look at flipping that narrative and saying that camp could be an entry point to the church, not the other way around. So we want to make sure we're inclusive of everybody, that everybody can belong just by being who they are, and building models that make that real. So I think our role as TSG is just helping organizations connect their mission, their market, and their money to make some clear decisions around where they're heading.
Yeah, incredible. How you are articulating those priorities and what you're seeing is exactly what we're hearing as an association. So we're really grateful for you all to be able to come alongside our folks in navigating some of those. I'm going to switch over and I want to ask about some insights. When you think about camp and retreat leaders specifically, where do you see the greatest need right now in relation to how you all approach your consulting work?
Thank you, Jessica. It's interesting because as I think about what the directors, the leaders are dealing with, and we all got in this business because we had a vision, whether that was in our heads or a mission in our heart or wherever. There's a desire, a strong desire to serve others. And that's why everyone was hired. That's everybody that might be listening to this was hired at one time to deliver what you've learned and to express that mission. We've narrowed it down to really three areas. One is the strategic planning and development. One is the facility development, and one is the financial development. So I want to look at those three things because I see that so many of the directors get stuck, and they get stuck in one of those three areas because in strategic development, you've got board as well as staff. You've got to try to figure out how to move your lay people and how to move your staff. And just saying, okay, how do we catch that vision? But we really encourage people to write it down, to write down your strategic plan. So that way you can be accountable for it and to break it into smaller chunks, whether that's strategic objectives, however you want to call that, that's fine. Um, but when we can do that, we find that people are more effective. They're more effective because then they can say, really, what are we doing here and why are we doing it? One of my earliest mentors taught me that, he put up mission and money on the board and said, so what's more important? And of course, the younger ones are all like, oh, it's mission. And the older ones, oh, it's money. And he goes, well, without the mission, you get no money. And without the money, you can't do the mission. So we kind of teach people to realize that you have to have both. You have to have both. But the strategic plan and the development of that really talks about the mission of what you are doing. And then facility development. I can't tell you how many times camp directors have come to me and said, man, I didn't realize I was going to have to be a septic genius to have this job. Or I didn't know I had to be a contractor. Well, guess what? You don't have to be any of those things. We can help. We can walk through situations where people are going, I need this building, but I don't know I don't know where it should go or what it should look like. Well, that's what we can do. We can walk through and give you a different perspective. We've got camp experience, but we can now say, based on what we're hearing from all your stakeholders, this is what you need to do. And Tom is so good at that, to be able to listen and to interpret. And that's the beauty, I think, of TSG and how we can walk through with you on all those things. Because we realize that you got to prioritize. You have to be able to say, yes, let's get this done first. Let's get that done next. Let's get this done. So again, it's strategic. And what I thought was interesting, I've got a couple different clients. One was looking at strategic planning, and they said, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this. And then the other one's looking at facility planning, and they're going, yeah, we want to do this. But they both came to the same thing. And that was, but I don't want it to be my idea. I want it to be our idea. And that's what I thought was just so brilliant about the people on our team that I'm working with, to be able to go, okay, let's get some stakeholders to tell us what they hear, what they see, and to be able to siphon through all of that, to be able to go, this is really where you need to go. And realize, as we're saying this, it becomes our idea or their idea. And the directors kind of look at us like, wow, I didn't realize it would be that easy. But it's not easy. But when you have so many people with good experiences, we kind of go, hey, we're in the people business. That's what we do. We're here to help people succeed. And so that's, I think, is so pivotal, when especially strategic and facility development. And then financial development. As Glenn said, campers are harder to get right now, and money is harder to get. We've got to be able to help directors walk through how to get more money, how to get the resources they need to be effective. And there's some great techniques that we know, but what's most important, again, is the experience that the team has, to be able to say, hey, this can work, and this can work this way. So strategic planning and development, facility development, and financial development are the three big things that I'm seeing the camp directors are looking for when I'm doing coaching or consulting. That's what I'm hearing. But when I think of financial development, Dave had a great story. Dave, can you share a little bit of that story of when you walked through with one of your camps on financial development?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So I think it's important to go back to, Glenn talking about mission and understanding mission, and Bob talking about understanding your why. And I think that all of that, and when we talk about those three things that Bob just walked us through, all of that to me largely feeds into confidence, right? And having data to support decisions helps give confidence. Having somebody break things down into smaller pieces, like Bob talked about, helps make it feel more doable, which builds confidence. And even just a belief that we can be successful. And I think that's one of the biggest things we can provide is showing people that, listen, if you're willing to change how you practice and how you think, and let's look at your program, and is it ministry focused? Is it missional in the decisions you make? And if we can add some business practices and make well-informed, thoughtful decisions, we can make change in camps. And an example of that, we had a camp and retreat ministry that we partnered with that was struggling financially, struggling with enrollment. They had 2 sites, and over the course of several years, it didn't happen overnight, but over the course of several years, we took a look at business practices. We took a look at why are we doing this? How does this program deliver our ministry? Are we achieving our goals by doing that? We started some fundraising practices, annual campaigns. We did all of these things, not any one in a bubble, but all of them in relationship with each other. And that camp and retreat ministry program saw an $800,000 change in their operating budget. So at the same time, their conference was going through some financial changes. And so the support they were receiving from their conference was becoming less and less and less each year, which is something we see a lot of camps having to address. So for them to go through an $800,000 annual swing in finances was the difference between them being able to continue operating at the levels that they were, or possibly having to face some really tough decisions. We saw camper enrollment go up. We saw efficiency of operations go up. We saw giving increase dramatically, and the number of new donors each year would continue to grow. But I think all of that really starts with having a clear vision and a plan, and being able to share and communicate that plan, and building confidence in the ministry team that, listen, camps can be successful, right? We need to maybe change some of the way that we're thinking. We need to get out of this mindset of this is impossible, how long can we survive, and switch to a mindset of what do we do to make this ministry as impactful as possible, and get back to our original mission work and building a plan around that. And we have a few examples like that, other stories. Like, these guys like to tease me because I'm a storyteller, but we've had some great success stories with camps who have really been willing to step back and take a look at how we're operating and what we're doing, and focusing on putting God first, and putting our ministry and people right up front, and using all of those things to focus our decisions on. Yeah, it's fun work to get to see it come together, Jessica.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So our viewers have gotten to know you here over the past few minutes. We've heard about some success stories and the perspective that you all bring and your approach to this ministry. So let's now talk about how we can get our camp leaders connected to the Sherry Group so that they can start seeing the success that you have shown other camps as well. So support. Tiffany, I'm going to ask you this question, and it's going to be twofold. The first, from your perspective, what does success look like for your clients whenever things are going really well? And then for those camp leaders who are watching this and thinking, we need that help, what they're talking about is really resonating with my experience, and I want to get connected to them. What's the first step that they should take?
Sure. Like the team has been talking here, when things are going really well for our clients, there's usually a strong sense of clarity and alignment. Staff, boards, and stakeholders all understand the vision, mission, and priorities. And when that happens, leadership is able to spend less time reacting and more time thinking strategically about the future. We also see success when organizations feel sustainable. Not perfect, because camp ministry is never perfect, but healthy and focused, and like Dave said, moving forward with confidence. If a camp leader is listening and thinking we might need help, our encouragement would be to reach out before things are completely overwhelming or there's a crisis. Sometimes the most valuable thing is to simply have a trusted outside perspective and a partner to help carry the work you're doing and bringing that forward.
Thank you, Tiffany. Tom, I'm interested in hearing your perspective as well. What from your work with camps do you see success looking like with your clients whenever you're working with our camp leaders?
Yeah, thank you. I think the specifics can vary from camp to camp, but generally success from a site planning and a long range planning perspective, success can be measured or identified if the entire program and property and facilities are being utilized in support of the mission and ministry of the place, of the camp. And so that's one of the things that we look for as we're inventorying an existing site and its existing conditions, and trying to understand what the goals and aims and the mission is for our clients to align what they're doing programmatically and experientially with future site development. And that can vary from client to client. We've worked with clients who have really wanted to plant the flag for something, and oftentimes something new or a new partnership or a shift in the things that they're doing. And sometimes that can even mean a pretty significant overhaul of what it is that they're doing on that property. At the same time, I have talked to past clients who are slowly implementing a good plan over time at the pace that suits their needs as those come up. And at the end of the day, in either case, that plan for the entire property and site and mission and ministry is in alignment with their goals and visions, and they're either implementing right away or chipping away at it, depending on their specific situation.
So we've got folks watching this. They are ready to take the next step. What is the best way that they can connect with you to continue this conversation or to start a conversation with you all? Is it email? Is there a form on your website? How do our camp leaders get connected to the Sherry Group?
They can find us through our website, which is www.thesherrygroupllc.com. There's a form on there if they are looking for operational advice, fundraising advice, if they want to partner with looking for strategic planning. We'll direct them to the right people. We haven't talked a lot about site planning and site development. Tom, again, if they contact us through the Sherry Group, we'll get Tom connected with them there. But just start by reaching out. All you have to do is make that first contact, right? Just send us an email through the website or reach out to any of us directly, and we'll walk you through the steps from there. We want to have the opportunity to connect with you. We want the opportunity to hear your story, and we would love to have the opportunity to assist and partner with you in any way we could. But it starts with just saying hi.
It starts with just saying hi. That is exactly right. Before we let you all go, what's one piece of advice you'd give camps and retreat leaders that are heading into the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, I'll jump in there. I think a great piece of advice is to breathe, right? To slow down a little bit and breathe and think through. I think I would also share the advice that we need to practice what we preach. Include God in in everything you do every day. Take time to pray. Take time to go to someplace quiet where you can hear, and just involve Him in your daily practices. I think that's where it starts. I think a successful summer starts with strong leadership who can stay focused on the right things and stay focused on their mission and their ministry. And then I would think that to stay to your plan, right? If you have a good plan, stick with it. And my last piece of advice, and I'll let these guys jump in because I'm sure we could fill a half an hour with this alone. But my last piece of advice is to be where your feet are planted, right? So be where your feet are planted. And so if you're in summer camp, be in summer camp and focus on that ministry and what you're doing there and give it that energy and that time and enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Oh, Dave, you say things well. I would restate what you've heard here today just a little bit and say nostalgia is no longer a business plan. So if you're going to prepare for your future, you should do it strategically. Too often it's by guess and by golly. As Dave said, if you can put your God at the center of your decisions and put your purpose, mission, and vision and articulate it, people will come and hang out and they'll give you the support and revenue that you need to continue to do more of that. It's just one of those self-perpetuating things.
Yeah, those are great. And God brought you here for a reason. And there's something that you are asked to do. Esther, for such a time as this, you've been asked to do this. And it is an incredible opportunity. So enjoy it. As Dave said, breathe and enjoy it. Because when your counselors see joy in you, when your board sees joy in you, they'll look for joy.
Exactly right. Thank you all so much for taking the time to do this interview with me today so that we can share who you are and your values and your approach to your ministry and consulting with our United Methodist Camp and Retreat community through this business affiliate interview. You've been watching a UMCRM business affiliate interview. Get connected to the Sherry Group today.